Hi guys, and welcome back to Christian Casts, where I build baits so you don't have to. I actually noticed I always said my slogan wrong while I was doing the bait building because I actually always adapt it. So today's the first one where I actually say it right. We are going to be focusing on this beauty. I actually found a old lure blank that I wanted to use still because I had it printed already. So we're going to do the classic crankbait, and we're going to do a very easy paint scheme that anybody who wants to really start lure building itself, you can actually use these colors. I used some white, gray, black, gold, and the silver for the scales, and a orange for the belly. So it's not a lot of colors, it's very easy to handle, and you really get a cool result. So if you want to get into bait building, this would be a good starting theme to try. And then I've still got a prototype I want to show you guys, but I'll show you guys at the end. I'll straight away get into the video and I'll get you guys facing the desk and we'll start airbrushing. Welcome back to the desk. We will be doing one of the old lure blanks that I actually really enjoyed to airbrush. I like how they sink, and we just put a little bit of a bigger lip in than by the old ones. I'm hoping for a bit of more wobbling, so we'll see how that goes. The first step we're going to be doing is we're going to airbrush with our grounding color of white, and we'll straight away get to it. I'm not too sure what paint scheme we're going to be doing today, but most probably you saw the lure in the thumbnail already, so let's get started. So I'm quite happy with that, and now we'll be working with some grey today and some black and silvers. I might do a little bit of gold as well, but we'll see where the paint scheme takes us, and we'll get this one dried and then I'll wash out the airbrush and we'll carry on painting in a moment. The next color we're actually going to be using is some dark grey, and we are going to go over the top and a little bit of the sides. So let's get started. So that is going to be the grey for us. I'm going to put a little bit more right here. There we go. We are now going to add some gold. I was first thinking of actually going from the top down a bit and then getting that, but now I think I'm actually going to try and make a line along and then just darken down the top with some black, and then I'll still do a orange belly and do the scales, but we're going to try and do a nice clean line. Always a bit a not my favorite thing to do. Just about like that. Then we'll do it on this side as well. just about like that. Yep. So that looks quite okay, and we'll see how we carry on. The next step will actually be darkening down the top with our black, and we'll also clean up the overspray from the gold line in this step. So let's get started. There we go. So now we have got our black on. Now we'll still do a little bit of a bright belly before we start with the scales. The next and last color will be our orange, and I'll straight away get started. We just want to really hit it from the top and try to just get the belly just like that. That when it wobbles, it gives a little bit of a bright orange. I still get it a bit on this side. There we go. Now I am quite happy with how that looks. And then we'll still give it a scale cover. I'm gonna try today again a little bit of this the paint we don't like that much, but it's very shimmering, so we'll mix this with our normal premium color silver, and then we'll do the scales. And I'm gonna try the scales today a little bit different, but you'll anyway see in the next step. So the net is actually fixed. Now onto our bait, and I will today be spraying it very much from these sides. So I'll let the bait actually be standing like that, and I won't be going like from this angle. I'll actually be spraying a lot from this angle and do more layers, because I actually think that then the scale optic would be optimized. So I'll be starting with our normal silver, and then in the last step before finishing and revealing our scales, I will actually change up and darken it down a little bit. Now I will just add a little drop of our ink, and then we'll straight away get started. I'll put the colors to the side, and let's go. So in the next step, I will take a little drop of black and actually do exactly the same. So we've darkened down our silver, and now we'll just go go. Now That looks good, and I'll get you guys back for the scale reveal. Well, we are back, and now I'll unwrap our parcel. So I think these scales really look cool. As I was saying, my mic actually just died, so I had to restart the video. I really like the look of the scales. It shimmers nicely, so we'll straight away then get into gluing the eyes. I will be using these orange ones today, and we'll see how it looks. I actually took off my gloves for this step because I like to have a little bit more of a feeling. Also helps with adjusting them. That eye didn't work well, so I'm gonna peel him off. And get another one. Luckily I've got there we go. Happy. So those are the eyes on our lure today. Now I'll prepare everything for the clear coat, and that's going to be the last step before the outro. So now we will get our clear coat on. There we go. So we've got enough UV resin for the coat on. Now I'll just clean up all the parts that I've got too much on. Then we'll blow out the bubbles. That we'll do in the next step. I'll just clean out this. And as you can see, there should be no bubbles anymore. We'll let it drip off still a bit, then I'll put it off to cure, and then I'll get you guys back for the outro. So, welcome to the outro. We have finished, and I've cleaned up already a little bit. As you already know, the bait is looking like this. I actually like the scale pattern quite a lot, and I enjoyed this paint scheme. It's a very easy paint scheme, as I said in the intro already, that if you want to get into bait building, just try this one out. We'll now just drop it into the water, and I'll show you guys how it sinks. So it sinks quite nicely, stands upright, exactly what we want. I'm still planning how to best do a float tank, because we will actually redo the bait building area in my workshop because I want a little bit more space. So I'm going to put in a other table, and then we'll also make space for the flow tank itself. I've been thinking a lot, and we will actually create a own playlist where I take you guys with on the whole design and build process of the flow tank. And then once that is finished, if you want to build yourself one or are interested in how I did it, you can check that out. So that's going to be a future project. It is been pushed a bit back because I still have to look where to get the plexiglass, and I want to get it cut already to the size I need with all the holes. So I have to do a lot of planning beforehand. If you're interested in that, you can always leave me a comment. And I hope you guys enjoyed another bait build. And now I'll just show you shortly still before you go. I actually want to do a new type of bait. So I want to actually do something in the direction of a crawfish. So this is just a prototype, a quick print. I'm not too sure if I want to do it with so many screws as hardware, or if I might redesign it. Maybe if you've got ideas, you can drop them in the comments. The thing is that in my region where I am fishing this year, there are a lot of trout that mainly go on to crawfish. So I'd actually like to make something that maybe the eyelet screw is in here, that once you pull on it, and the hooks itself would be mounted somewhere here, I'm not too sure yet where, that once you pull here, this flap with the tail actually is like a lip. So I'll be weighting this quite heavy, through this falling down and pulling on this point, you actually will have a motion going back like a crawfish. So if you're interested or have any ideas how I could maybe improve it, or how you would do this, maybe leave it in the comments. I'm always glad for input, because I'm not too sure. It looks a bit wild with all these screws and hardware stuff right here. And I'm also a bit worried that if I put the hooks on each of the hands, that when casting they actually intertwine and lose their effectiveness. So that is a little bit of the thoughts towards a new prototype, but yeah, we'll see how that goes anyway. And I wish you a good one, and keep on fishing. We'll see each other for the next bait build. Cheers.